Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Buongiorno bianconeri. Special hello today, why? Because it's a special week. It's the week of the Derby d'Italia. Juve against Inter, bianconeri against the nerazzurri, and even if the kickoff of the game will be only on Sunday, and it's just Monday, so a lot of days before the kickoff, and everything can happen in the meanwhile, it's time to start preparing the Derby d'Italia. But before that, I want to speak about a guy that could have changed the recent years of Juventus in a total different way. If you want to know who am I speaking about, please maximum like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ragazzi, we start because this morning I woke up and I thought to myself, mamma mia, mannaggia, I should have taken the opportunity to watch him last time, because it's always like that. It's when it's over that you wake up and you say, it's over, it's too late, I regret, I should have watched him last time live playing maybe with Sampdoria. Yes, I'm speaking about the eternal number 27, Fabio Quagliarella. And the youngest one between you will probably not have seen the peak of Fabio, but what a player. Underrated player? Absolutely yes, but what a player. Fantastic player. What will he be remembered about? Well, if you go on YouTube, on social media, type in top 10, top 50, go even to top 100 goals of Fabio Quagliarella. He was able to score in every single position, but the goals that he was scoring were out of this world, but seriously out of this world. Another thing that he will be remembered about is the fact that at a certain moment in his career, he decided to not celebrate anymore against his ex-teams, and a lot of players are doing that. The problem from Fabio was that he played in so many different calcio teams in Serie A that it was difficult for him to find a team to celebrate against. And then another thing, the third one, that actually I don't believe a lot of people would have thought about, but this morning I woke up like that, is that Fabio could have changed the story of Juve in a total different way. Why? Because it's true that if you are looking at the facts, 102 games with Juve, 30 goals, he won 5 trophies, 3 times the Scudetto, 2 times Supercoppa, he was there in the early beginning of Antonio Conte, and he won with him for 3 years before leaving. Well, he could have changed that story, that narrative of 9 consecutive Scudetti for Juve. Why? Because actually the season before the arrival of Antonio, Fabio Quagliarella is doing fantastically well with a really great Juventus. They are doing well, they are there fighting to maybe arrive to win the Scudetto, or at least to compete. It's early in the season. Then international break, you have that Christmas break, and on the 6th of January 2011, huge injury. But that moment is really important because it's changing not only the future of Fabio Quagliarella that season, because the season was over, but also the future of Juventus that season, because that season Juventus, from that moment on, started to total collapse. They collapsed and they finished 7th. What if Fabio Quagliarella didn't had that injury? What if he was able to continue to play and maybe Juventus finishing 2nd or 3rd, who knows, maybe even winning the Scudetto? Maybe the year after, the real first year of Andrea Agnelli, he would not have contacted Antonio Conte to hire him. Maybe he would have continued with the coach that we had, and maybe, who knows, maybe we would not have spoken today about Juventus able to win 9 Scudettos. It's really strange sometimes, the destiny, a small detail that can change everything. It is Fabio Quagliarella's story. Anyway, now that we spoke about Fabio Quagliarella and I try to go back to a memory I had about that guy, fantastic guy, I wish him of course the best whatever he will do, television, sporting manager, coach or whatever. I want to speak about Juve Inter of course, and do we have really to wait until Sunday before speaking about it? Absolutely not, because Juve Inter actually started yesterday with Juventus women that were able to won 5-0 against the nerazzurri. If we can have that score on Sunday, mamma mia, what a fantastic score. Of course, I'm probably exaggerating, I would sign also for a 1-0 win, also because we know it. The problem is that we have a lot of injuries and we have the update about injuries, but before that, ragazzi, there is still the national teams, the international break, and you have Corriere dello Sport that is taking us back to the Azzurri, going with match point. Match point, I don't know if it's really a fantastic, beautiful title today. Why are they speaking about match point? Because today, against Ukraine, 1 point is enough to qualify to the next Euro, which could be nice. But they're also referring probably to Sinner that yesterday played the final against Djokovic, ATP Tour in Turin. Well, there were no match point. Actually, there was absolutely no match because Djokovic totally destroyed Sinner. It's a pity for Italian tennis, but it is what it is. So hopefully we go towards another title. We go towards Gazzetta dello Sport that is saying fate I campioni, Italy. Do the champions, because you maybe forgot it because Italy didn't qualify to the last World Cup, but the actual leaders or winners of Euro are still Italy. So if they can do the champions today, it would be fantastically great. A player that will not make his debut with Italy is Andrea Cambiaso, our number 27, from the 27 from Quagliarella to the new number 27 Andrea Cambiaso, that was called up for the very first time to the Italian national team together with Colpani. Both of them will be in the stand today, so 0 games out of 2 for our left winger. Good, yeah, so that he can rest. Of course, it's a bit of pity, but he was a bit prepared because when he had his father on the phone and he told him that he was called up for the Italian national team, he said, congratulations, of course, but don't expect too much, you will probably be a water boy. On the other side, who is back on the bench? Because that's probably where he will start. It's Moiskin, which is a great news for Juve. For what reason? If last week he was not able to participate 100% with the training session and was in the stands, well, he is back, which is a great news because we need Moiskin in, if we are speaking about Juve Inter. If we are speaking about the other players, what is the moment at today? What is the situation at today? Weston McKennie, that had to leave earlier USA team, well, he's back in Torino, but he should be at 80% possibilities to play that game against Inter, which is super high. Together with Alexandro, 70% to be available. That doesn't mean that he will be there in the starting lineup, but at least to be there available to be called up on the bench. Huijsen and Miretti, you remember both of them, same problem, low back pain with lombalgia, are at 60%, 50%. Less a problem for Huijsen if he's not there, because we know it. We have Rugani, Bremer, Gatti. On top of that, we are able to recuperate for the bench Alexandro. But of course, Miretti is a problem, because if Miretti is at 50%, Locatelli is at 30%. And that means that both of our midfielders are really, at the moment, really far from being called up. And that means that Max Allegri will have to reinvent totally a midfield, waiting for a response for Weah, because Weah is today at 40%. The good news is that Weah and Alexandro will train today. Even if it's still a day off for the Juventini, they will start training session tomorrow. They will both train today to anticipate and to actually make some tests to understand if yes or no they have possibilities to be called up. With the Weah, we have the possibility to play with McKennie in the middle together with Rabiot and then maybe Nicolosi or whatever. Without Weah, well, we have another problem, because that means that McKennie will have to play on the right side and we will have again to reinvent our team. Danilo, we knew it, 20%. And that's a problem at the moment. It can go better, absolutely. On the other side, it can go also worse. Why? Because, as I told you, international break is not over yet. And if you are looking at the recent days, well, yesterday, Gavi, huge injury. I don't know. Probably the season will be over for the young kid. Not only him, Zaire Emery, Vinicius, Camavinga. A lot of young players, a lot of players that have this huge injury during international break. It is a drama. What is the factor for that? Because we are playing too much. Game in, game out. Game in, game out. Traveling from one country to the other. Not only physically, but also mentally, the players are tired. And what are we doing? We are adding every time more and more games. We should find a solution for that, because it's a total disaster. Not only for Juve, but for all the other teams. Of course, when you have injuries, that means that other players have opportunities. One of them is Kenan Yildiz, that played his second game with Turkey, friendly against Germany. He was able to score a fantastic goal, the goal against Germany in Berlin. That celebration reminded us about Del Piero. Of course, we are all waiting, we Juventina, for the new Messia, the new Del Piero. Even the people that didn't really watch the entire career of Del Piero, they know how important the number 10 was. They know what he represents for Juve. And you know, it's one every 20 years, 30 years that a player like that is born and you're waiting for him. Well, Kenan Yildiz could be that player. Of course, we have that fantastic talent, and now we are all asking for him to play, because it's nice to have the words of Max Allegri that said in multiple press conferences that he believed in the guy, that he was un predestinato, that means someone that has already the future written, that is a player that is doing things out of this world with the ball, that has qualities that are incredible. He promoted him definitely from not only the next gen, but even from the under 19 to the first team. But it's true that if you are looking at the moment, he played 36 minutes in 5 different appearances, which is absolutely not enough. So is Max Allegri really trusting him, yes or no? It could be, but at the moment, unfortunately, because of that 3-5-2, we don't have the possibility to play with a lot of forward players, like a Soulé that had to go on loan, like a Federico Chiesa that is not able to play on the left, like Ealing Jr. that is not able to play his position. So will Max Allegri go towards a 3-4-3 that we spoke about yesterday in the video? Will we go towards a 3-4-1-2? Will we go to something else? We don't know, but at the moment there are some rumors that are saying that more and more Max is thinking to start Kenan Yildiz against Inter. Could be the game of the youth against the Nerazzurri. A Nicolussi, a Kenan Yildiz, maybe one of them. Attenzione, maybe some minutes for Nonje. It will be a really curious game. Let's see who will recuperate or not. But yesterday we said if we want to go towards 3-man upside, if we want to go towards a 3-4-3, well, someone is too much there on the left side. Because on the left side we have Federico Chiesa that loves that position, Ealing Jr., Cambiaso, Kostic, Kenan Yildiz that can play in that position like he played with Germany. So that means that we have too much. And at the end of the live yesterday, we came to a conclusion that maybe selling Ealing Jr. would make sense. A pity? Absolutely yes, but probably would make sense because we have too many players in that position. And it's not a coincidence that today scouts from Tottenham will go to watch the under-21 England team because Ealing Jr. could potentially play. They are the team that really want to do an offer in January for the English player. Would it be a pity? Absolutely yes. I'm 100% sure about it because it's a player that I would have wanted to see more. At the moment, Juventus is going towards a 3-5-2 that is giving stability. A 3-5-2 a bit forced because we can't go at the moment with 4 men in defense because the mercato didn't allow us. So that's one of the players that could leave. On the other side, it's not the only one on that list because there is another player that is receiving more and more offers. A player that was there on the mercato list for the entire summer, that at the end we were all happy that he stayed in our team, but the competitors are back. First of all, with Atletico Madrid, that is on Dusan Vlahovic, and there is the Spanish paper that is saying that there are 4 key factors why Dusan Vlahovic could be a target for Atletico Madrid. One of the first one, of course, is Memphis Depay. If he doesn't improve, well, they could go for our Serbian number 9. Could be a big loss. But of course, if we want to go there, it will not only be cash, but they can insert some players in the talks with Juve. We are speaking about De Paul, we are speaking about Morata. Will it be one of them? Will it be both of them? Will it be cash only? That's something that we will discover understanding the offer of the Colchoneros. Of course, if we want to go towards a 3-4-3, probably we have too many strikers because Milik is keen, Dusan Vlahovic, and we have to find a solution. On the other side, it's not only Atletico Madrid that is on the player because apparently today there are some sources that are saying that also Arsenal is on Dusan Vlahovic and they are set to win the race to have him. We all remember that when he had the opportunity to go towards Premier League, he decided to stay at Juve or to go to Juve instead of accepting Arsenal. Arsenal fans were absolutely not happy about that news. He decided to try at Juve. He could go probably even in January or in the summer to the Gunners. Attenzione, because if he goes there in January to Atletico Madrid or to the Gunners, that means that the number 9 that we all believed in and that we refused Lukaku for could go there. And then my big question is, if he really leaves in January, was it a missed opportunity to not sign Lukaku? Big question that I'm asking to you, and I want to read it in the comment section. Lukaku that yesterday scored 4 goals in the 5-0 victory of the Belgian team. He has scored the most goals ever in a single Euro qualifying campaign, 14, which is huge, which is totally huge. Let me know in the comment. Ragazzi, I don't know if you watch it or not. Probably my eyes are a bit, shiny. Maybe my voice was not 100%. But I think that I start to have the first form of sickness. My son is sick since last Sunday and it's not getting over. I resisted. I think it's time for me now to say that I start to be sick. Hopefully not too much, because I want to be at 100% for Juve Inter. Even if I'm not playing the game, I want to be healthy. Ragazzi, maximum like, don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.